Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we're gonna be going over 4 recipes that you can make with a rotisserie chicken. Now, if you are new to my channel, when I show recipes, they are generally geared towards being quick and easy weeknight meals that you can make in about an hour or less for your family. I also like to do some dump and go meals that you can dump into the crock pot and they're ready to go at the end of the night. But this specific video is geared towards the rotisserie chickens. Now, I always try to pick up a rotisserie chicken when I do any grocery run, but the other thing I like about getting a rotisserie chicken is even if you haven't prepared anything to cook for the night, you can just go run and pick one up, come home, and still come out with a nice hearty meal for your family. Now, the good thing about a rotisserie chicken is it's already cooked for you. So really all you have to worry about is adding the other ingredients to whatever dish you're gonna use it for. So if there's any chicken recipe that you want to try and you don't feel like cooking with chicken, just go pick up you a rotisserie chicken from your local grocery store, okay? So let's go on and jump right in. All right, so we're gonna get started with chicken enchiladas. You might even wanna call them fajitas because I prefer to add some peppers and onions with my enchiladas as well. But the whole idea here is that you can make an enchilada meal, a fajita meal, you can make a chicken taco with a rotisserie chicken. So as you can see, I'm just starting off by sauteing my vegetables, and then I'm going to add up the chopped rotisserie chicken to this mixture, and we're gonna add in our seasonings as well as the enchilada sauce. The seasonings that I used for this particular meal were the Kinder's blend seasoning, and I also used the Mrs. Dash Southwest seasoning blend, but you are welcome to use any seasonings that you desire for the specific flavor that you're going for. Now we're gonna add our enchilada sauce. I'm only gonna add half the can to the chicken mixture, and then we are going to use the other half to top off the finished enchiladas. All right, so after we've allowed the chicken mixture to cook for just a little bit, we're gonna go on and prepare the enchiladas, and I'm just going to, I've already sprayed my baking pan that I'm using here, and we're just going to put them in the oven on 375 for a total of 15 to 20 minutes, or when your cheese is completely melted. Now, I add salsa to the top of my enchiladas, but this step is completely optional. If you just want to stop at the cheese, you can do that as well. All right, and here are our finished enchiladas. I just paired this with a nice green salad. The good thing about this meal is it actually stretches, so we ate this again for leftovers the next night. All right, next up is barbecue chicken sandwiches. So you can actually do this one in the slow cooker if you prefer, or you can do it stovetop. I used my multi-cooker for this one because it has a simmer setting and I needed it pretty quick and easy with easy cleanup. So once again, we're gonna start with our chopped chicken and we're just gonna add all of our ingredients to the multi-cooker and you're gonna have barbecue chicken sandwiches within a matter of minutes. Again, you're welcome to season this one to your liking. I use salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder. I use my barbecue sauces, Worcester sauce. I hope I said that correctly. I also use some paprika and just a tad bit of adobo seasoning. I also used a little bit of chicken broth too, but another good ingredient to add to this one would be some liquid smoke. I did not have liquid smoke on this night, so I just used what I had, and I added a little bit of brown sugar, gave it a nice stir, and allowed it to cook. And I forgot to add, in place of the liquid smoke, I used some of this smokehouse maple seasoning to just add a little bit more flavor, and it has just a little bit of that smoke flavor to it as well. So here's the finished product after it's cooked for a little while. I also went on and toasted some hamburger buns that you're gonna see here in just a moment. And I added coleslaw to it as well, but that is strictly just a preference that we have. My husband and I like to eat coleslaw with our pulled chicken, pulled pork type of sandwiches. And I also added French fries for the kiddos. This will be like a really good like Saturday night meal if you don't really feel like cooking, but you don't want to eat out either. It can be done like literally in under an hour. All right, next up we have white chicken chili. And I've actually made this on my channel before, but as like a taco soup because I used ground beef. But when I use chicken, I actually go on and call it white chicken chili. And all recipes and everything will be linked below in the description box. But this is originally what this recipe was supposed to be. But I just kind of remixed it early on and made it my own little taco soup. But that's what we do with our recipes, right? We take what we know, we use what we can, and we make them our own. And here I'm just adding taco seasoning the exact same way that I would do to ground beef. I'm also going to add some water as well, and it's going to cook the exact same way ground beef would. It's just going to add that taco flavoring to your chicken. And then we're just going to add all of our ingredients to the pot. I'm also going to add some chicken broth as well as water. You can use one, you can use both. It's 100% up to you. If you want to add more seasonings, you can do that as well. You'll see later on that after I brought it to a boil, I added some of the Mrs. Dash Southwest seasoning as well as some Kinders. And then you're just going to let it heat to a boil and then let it simmer, and then you may partake. And here's our finished product. You can add as many toppings as you like. My kids like to eat this with some tortilla chips, and I like to add sour cream and avocado to mine. So yes, here is our finished white chicken chili, taco soup, whatever you want to call it, girl, that's what it is. All right, and for our final recipe, we're going to do some chicken and rice. As you can see, I had to get my rotisserie chicken from Kroger on this day because my HEB ran out of rotisserie chickens that day. So sometimes you just have to, improvise. But I want to just go on and say that this is kind of like, I've made a recipe like this before on my channel, but in the ingredients that you saw in the first shot, you see the pepperoncini peppers up there, but I decided not to use those because I use a gravy, and sometimes when I make this recipe I make it without the gravy, but I use the peppers. And if you would like to see that video, just comment down below and I'll make a video on how I make that recipe as well. It has so much flavor, but on this specific day I just chose to go the gravy route, so I did not end up using those peppers, so you will not see those be used. But if you would like me to do a video later on how I use those to make a chicken and rice type of recipe, let me know down in the comment section. And let me just say this, if chicken and gravy is not your thing, then you might not need to try this recipe. But this recipe is more of kind of like a quick comfort meal type of thing. So you, like with all of the recipes that I've shown today, I advise you to use any seasonings that you want to use because you are going to have to season the chicken just a little bit more. But if you prefer like salt-free seasonings, it's completely up to you. If you prefer things with a little bit more kick, that's specifically up to you. But I do recommend that you kind of season your chicken before you start adding in, mixing in your gravy. And here's our finished product. I just paired it with some green beans and instant rice. If instant rice isn't your thing, you are more than welcome to make your rice. But like I said, this is geared towards being a quick and easy weeknight meal, because when I record these videos, guys, I'm in the trenches with you. I'm making them after a long day of work as well. So you just have to do what works for you. All right, that is all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment down below and let me know which recipes you think you may try, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.